What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? Just give me 1 second. I gotta check out, make sure that I am live on YouTube. I am right now. This is the first time I've broadcasted on my new PS5, so I just want to make sure that all my settings were set up all right. So I've been working very hard the last few days, and I am officially done with all of the MLB rosters and the filler players for the minor leagues for all 30 major league teams right now. All that's left to do now for my end of the project is to edit the top 30 prospects for each team. So that's still going to take a little bit of time, but not as much as this first part that I just taken care of. So I'm going to be done working on this for a couple days. I'm going to hand this back over to Sports Gaming Rosters, who is going to work on some equipment edits and some face work so we can get some of that stuff ironed out. He's also going to set up some lineups and 40-man rosters and all of that stuff as well. So, but what I want to show you guys tonight, I'm not going to show any of the details of the roster because there's still quite a bit of players who are not finished yet. So I don't want to quite highlight any of that yet. But I do want to show you how some of these teams rank based off of how I have rated all these players with my system. So this is actually my first time going through this, so I have no idea what some of these teams are going to be ranked. So let's go through it together and find some interesting things. So um, Baltimore Orioles, they're 29th, 27th contact, 13th power, 29th pitching. Pretty bad team, just because you would kind of expect for the Baltimore Orioles. Red Sox, 13th in the league. Pretty good batting numbers, pitching struggling. So that kind of fits with what you'd expect to see from them. Yankees, top five, across the board, pretty strong. Actually, kind of surprised to see their defense be so high. So that's pretty interesting. But pretty good team. Oh, the Rays coming in 18th. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the Rays are just one of those teams that, like, on paper don't look like they're really good, but somehow put it all together for success. Blue Jays, not surprised to see them in the top five. Their pitching rotation's pretty strong, as well as their bats. White Sox, they're in the top 10. Cleveland Guardians, they're down there at 20th, but first in defense and speed. So, two things that don't necessarily matter when you're playing in this game, although do kind of matter a little bit in real life. So, but yeah, look at their offense is awful. The pitching staff's pretty solid, though. Um, Detroit Tigers, they're coming in at 23rd. The Royals are 22nd. Really weak in the power department, which matches up pretty well. I can't think of anybody on their team that's really kind of a big time power bat. A lot more high contact guys with good defense and good speed, so that's fitting with what you'd expect from them. Minnesota Twins, they're coming in at 14th, which kind of surprises me. I don't expect them to have a phenomenal year, but maybe they will with how they're balanced out. Astros, they're coming in second, which, wow, pretty impressive. Angels are 11th with our cover athlete Shohei Ohtani. Ninth for pitching, fourth in contact, 23rd in power. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I guess, I mean, after you get through Trout, Ohtani, Rendon, and Walsh, you got like literally nobody. I mean, that's some pretty big bats right there, but I can't think of anybody on that team that really scares you after those bats, which they're really going to go as far as that little crop carries them. To literally nobody's surprise, the Oakland Athletics are 30th in pretty much everything. You guys, I've seen what the overalls look for these guys, and I don't think I've ever seen a worse team in this game. It's truly incredible. So when the roster drops, I suggest everybody, whether or not you're playing a franchise with the Athletics, to go check out the roster. It's kind of funny. Although I'm imagining they're going to be pretty popular for you rebuild fans out there because they have nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. Mariners coming in at 19th. I'm sure that Seattle fans wish that they were a little bit better ranked. We'll see how they pan out. It's really going to come down to some of their young guys like J Rod to really unlock their upside. Rangers 24th, no surprise there. Big time power though at 5th. Braves coming in at 6th. Your defending champions. Contact numbers way down there at 21st, but second power and fourth in pitching. So that'll carry you pretty far in today's MLB. Miami Marlins coming in right in the middle of the pack there at 15th. And then the New York Mets. I'm actually surprised they're fifth. Their rotation is just insane, and their bullpen's pretty good. So, wow, I'm actually kind of surprised to see that. And the ratings as I was going through were pretty good too. So, wow, I'm curious who's even better than that. All right, so we got the Philadelphia Phillies. They're coming in at 12. I'm kind of surprised the defense is ranked 18th. I thought that might be 30th because that defense might be pretty atrocious. But a couple of guys on that team, somebody like Real Muto, probably keeping that number from being awful, awful. Nationals coming in at 26th. That's not a surprise. Cubs, my hometown team, coming in right in the middle of the pack. Reds, no surprise, coming in at 27th. Eighth in power, which makes some sense, but everything else is pretty low. Oh, there's your worst defensive team right there, the Cincinnati Reds. Milwaukee Brewers coming in at eighth. That kind of fits. It's a little weird to see them be 20th in contact, 18th in power, and then 24th and 20th in defense and speed. But that pitching is gonna be what needs to carry them, and that makes sense. I mean, their rotation is just filled. Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns. You got Josh Hader coming out of the bullpen, so um, that makes a lot of sense. Pittsburgh Pirates are not the 29th ranked team. That's kind of interesting. I thought they would be the 29th team. They're actually only 28th. Cardinals are a top 10 team. Should be interesting to see what kind of a year they have this season. Diamondbacks are 25th, but have one of the most loaded farm systems in all of baseball. Rockies are 21st. The Dodgers are first, to nobody's surprise, first in pitching, which now that I think about it makes sense why they're first in pitching. Um, Bauer is actually not in the roster at this exact moment. We're working on getting him in there. We need a good creative player for that. So, yeah, that is one of the parts of the roster that still needs to be ironed out right now. But yeah, no surprise at all that the Dodgers are in first. Okay, and then the Padres are another top 10 team, although awful defensively. And then the Giants are 16th, so that's going to round it out. It's actually one thing. Oh, 29th team was the Orioles. I didn't clock that as I was going through, so I was just curious who that was. So, all right, thanks for tuning in to this preview. I will keep you guys posted on the forum in terms of updating you of expected time for the drop of this project. It's definitely going to be mid to late this week. I'll send you some more specifics when I have them. But in the meantime, in between time, I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend and early to mid next week. I'll see you in a bit.